So one of the questions I get a lot is, what should I be eating? What do you eat? Can you write me a meal plan or a diet plan? First and foremost, I don't really believe in a strict meal plan or diet plan where you have zero flexibility, where you have to stick to something for X amount of days, because it's not sustainable. You have to do something you can stick with. I've heard the 80-20 rule, and that's kind of what I try to live by. 80% of the time I eat healthy foods, 20% I kind of do whatever I want. It's worked for me, but at the end of the day, it really does come down to caloric intake. And if you're eating more than you're burning, you're going to gain weight. If you're eating less than you're burning, you're going to lose weight to a certain extent. If you go into a major caloric deficit, your body takes measures to basically counteract that. People call it starvation mode. It's not. It's really preservation mode. You really don't want to be any more or less than plus or minus, 500 or 600 calories a day. Anything else is excessive. You don't really need that. The thing that I tell people the most, though, is before you decide how many calories you're going to eat in a day, you need to know how many calories you burn in a day. Otherwise, you can't set your caloric intake for a day. So for me, I'm 6'2", 220 pounds, and I'm around 9 or 10% body fat consistently. I know that my resting metabolic rate requires about 2,700 calories. So that's, if I don't work out that day, 2,700 calories is what I need to maintain my weight. If I work out, which is usually in excess of 1,000 calories, add that to your caloric budget. So for me, my maintenance is around 4,000 calories. If I want to lose a little bit, I'll eat around 3,500. If I want to gain, I'm about 4,500, 4,600, somewhere in there. So make sure you know how many calories you burn in a day. It's incredibly important. Otherwise, you can't really set goals. You're just throwing shit against the wall and hoping it sticks. So go get your body fat percentage tested. Figure out what your metabolic rate is. Figure out how many calories you burn in a day. And then from there, figure out what your meal plan is going to look like from a caloric standpoint. Obviously, you want to make sure you're balancing your fats, carbs, and proteins. Those are your big macro categories. But honestly, you need to figure out how many calories you need to eat first, and you can't figure that out without knowing how many you spend in a day. So, happy Monday.